How
something.
about Venomancer?
It's my favorite hero. I don't know if I like it that much this game.
I think it's a
always
pretty
good.
hard counter by Mirana, isn't it? It's like one of the best heroes you can have against it, at least in the laning stage.
I mean,
Wards
yeah.
can't even hit you.
On the side of J-Storm.
Oh, for them to finish things off.
Yeah.
It's
For Moon.
hard to say what they're looking to address. But
Yeah.
whatever the cheese pick is.
Yeah.
It does look relatively
It's-
okay, though. I mean, in terms
Yeah.
of like aura picks and everything, depending on what happens. But there it is.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's fun. It was coming.
It
Oh.
was.
Yeah, because all their heroes are terrible against Meepo.
Yeah.
Like maybe people are kind of misled. Like you want AoE damage against Meepo, but you kind of want single target.
It's like a combo. Like
You want like a
want
Lina.
AoE control and you want single target damage.
Yeah.
And Lina has both.
Fanatics turn to
Bad.
ban.
Easy. But then again, if you get silenced, not
Not
gonna
too
happen
bad.
anymore. Mm-hmm.
What are you, like, Magnus is kind of annoying.
If they do the 5 tiny, you mean? Or you mean for
you
J-Storm?
ban Fnatic.
Knowing Fnatic,
ban Magnus.
It's DJ playing time.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think so.
Jabs will maybe get some kind of save type hero.
5 seconds remaining.
So
Fanatics turn to pick.
ban the
Radiant
Single
team
target.
pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden. Enable the rest of your drop.
Yeah, I don't think he really needed anything out of his pick.
No.
There wasn't much left.
Like all these other 4 heroes are suddenly 10% strong.
Yeah, I guess it means it's probably Isis Ice Enigma then.
Tiny support. Or the other way around. No, it doesn't.
10 seconds.
So the old
remaining.
classics, I mean... Jeez. Oof.
5 seconds.
Well, the question now, if
remaining.
you ban or like pick mid heroes to counter Meepo in the lane, because Mirana is not the greatest, but Meepo doesn't really lose any lane, he just goes jungle. But then you can put a Disabler on the offlane now if you want, like Magnus still.
Shaker's
Or
also still
Magnus
there.
Sounds quite
Shaker is maybe a little bit slow as well.
Yeah, you can pick Brewmaster as well, something like that. Control.
It really depends on who's going to play what. But I guess we kind of know that we're looking for...
Yeah, you're also facing against Necro in the
Offlane.
lane. I guess you don't want a melee hero there.
there's no jump, no way to start a fight. Turning. Same time you need to address the depot.
Is Centaur still a good one, or is he not enough burst damage? Because I know, you know, the double edge is nice, but probably not nice enough.
Not enough teamfight maybe,
Mm.
say. Stampede.
Well, we're looking for a hero for Forever, right?
Well, it's not true.
Or a Brile.
Or Brile. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually, it's really,
Alright.
Because Mirana is kind of good against, or is fine against Necro in the offlane. Like if you want that melee hero, you don't want to put it against Necro.
Mm-hmm.
I also think like, you can put Magnus mid and even let him farm massively.
you guys are from SDN. They should know some meepo. See a lot of
You
meepo.
may now select
Earthshaker is
That
the
will be
hero.
the
The
Shaker.
old default.
Is that a mid shaker?
Yep.
Trials picked it up.
Send it mid and then hope the Meepo's there.
Hopefully not Brown Boots or Treads Ags, but a Blink Dagger. Would be nice to
Ooh.
have.
Will he have enough?
Meepo, maybe
But you can net
Finesse.
him while he's in the air, right?
Just get both.
All right. Well,
Simple.
according to Twitter, it's very heavily in favor of Fnatic. I would like you guys' opinion as well.
80-20 right, and
Yeah.
this is Abed meepo.
It is.
Wouldn't be an upset.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. I don't know, the Meepo comes out, they already saw 4 heroes. Like, yes, you get one last one to address it, but at this point in the draft, I just don't think it's going to be enough.
I agree. Go for Fnatic.
All right. 3 people for Fnatic. That is,
Curse.
this might be the curse.
I mean, we're trying. That's the best chance they got, honestly.
You guys
we
were-
curse
We're
them.
doing it.
Like,
All right.
you're welcome, Jason.
Let's see if the curse is successful here for J-Storm. It is over to a commentary team of Toby and Kyle.
Hello, everybody. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to this result. The panel all believes in Fnatic, so obviously Fnatic will win. Kyle,
Oh, yeah.
do you believe in NA Dota? Do you believe
Nope.
it?
Fnatic's gonna win.
Okay, panel's all wrong then. Panel is totally all wrong.
This is-
we're gonna have to counter come in through J-Storm.
This would be a real test of the Kyle curse, because if J-Storm manages to win this game, I would be super impressed, because I think their draft is like NA Dota in a nutshell, and they're reliant on Bryle just going off. Like, he's got to utterly dominate this game.
Really? Is that even going to be enough? Like I
don't know.
We were kind of happy because we were lucky enough to have an Enigma versus Rubik game earlier on, and now we got it back again. It's like, okay, multiple black holes to come in, but the Rubik steals, the Rubik control. Like, it's up to the support strat to try and find try and find his stacks. Like, how do you go in with anybody else?
Well, that's kind of like the issue with the draft, is like, their entire team is very low damage. Yeah, sure, a Terrorblade eventually comes online, but that takes so much time, and you don't have any natural ways of applying pressure after you find kills. And your whole drive, like, you have these 4 heroes with stuns and a Terrorblade. So yeah, you might walk around the map, grab a double kill, but like, then what? You don't ever do Roche. You can't kill towers, whereas Fnatic, they're going to just play multiple lanes, and, oh, hey, they're all top, I'll spawn some Eidolons with my HOD. It's 9 minutes in, and Enigma can just take a tower, rotate mid, continue. Necro's always on map. Meepo's always on map. They have CM aura. It's just so easy for Fnatic to play the game.
It's not that cold out in the hall, Scriff. He can pull his hoodie off. But good luck to Scriff. Gotta watch this Meepo bouncing around the map. Meepo's actually going to TP over the top of the heroes who are on top lane, so we can get in towards the tower. But this is kind of not the matchups that J-Storm wanted. They wanted to put Bryle in mid against the Meepo, and already for Rev, he started to rotate in towards the mid lane, so he gets the matchup against Necro. But he's going to be a half creep wave behind by the time he arrives.
Yep. I like that J-Storm's making this rotation, but it would have been nice if they had floated the Mirana a bit, because he didn't need to be all the way top since both his supports were there. It is a nice movement, though, especially since they know Abed TP'd.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually think you could have had the Mirana TP middle just because of that. Then you would still have time to match if Abed rotated back.
They just didn't know about it. Like, the TP was too far away from the vision of J-Storm. But at least now J-Storm gets the lineups they want. They have TP the Ogre down the bottom, so DJ will stop zoning out Mu, and he was zoned out pretty heavily at the start. Like, Ice Ice is already 3-5 on his Enigma. Got to count into a fact he can deny his own conversions, but it's this pullback lane. It's Ice Ice's Enigma. This isn't the first time he's done it during this tournament.
Yep. And Tiny is just probably the best support with an Enigma as well, because you zone so well, you protect the Enigma, and then eventually you can just leave, start roaming, or stay in the lane. Enigma goes to jungle.
I also like it too because it opens up Ice's build, right? Because he can just go for the defensive items, like the ones that are going to keep their team alive. And DJ can be his Blink Dagger. Just toss him in. If Ice gets the BKB, what have they really got that's going to cancel that?
Yep. I mean, in conversations with Bulba, Adam, you know, a bunch of people that have played with Abed, the way you game plan for Meepo lineups is just pick a bunch of team fight with it. And when you have Enigma, Necro, CM, like, you're golden. It's just spam spells, kind of walk in and make space, because at some point you know you can count on Abed to just come through and clean up. By the old school Execration, like, they would just first two, you know, Silencer Tide, or first pick Tide into Meepo, and they're just banking on this idea that you'll never be able to take them in a fight. And right now, Fnatic's actually ahead very hard in the mid and bottom lanes.
Enigma, maybe a little bit too far up. I thought maybe with a double damage rune, Marge will start going for Ice because farming up the conversions. Now a lot of damage onto him, and DJ could just finish the job. In fact, it'll be Ice who will do it. They really tried to get aggressive on the Ice, but then just went after everything else. Leap into mid, it's going to be for Rev, killing off the courier. He's got one more leap available, leaps up, but the 2 damages attacks from the tower. He gets far enough away that the experience of Necro was denied.
That was actually really well done by Forov, getting out of XP range. Although I don't know if it counts, because I think that since MP gets credit, he still gets XP, even though the tower was...
The XP change says 0 on the fight recaps.
Oh,
so
there you go then.
We'll believe fight recap? Question mark?
Maybe. The concern concern for J-Storm is that up top, yeah, you have your Shaker versus Meepo, but you wanted that to be a 1v1, because it's the Shaker levels that really allow him to hunt Meepo and a fast blink timing, but since there's a Crystal Maiden in lane, like, they're just trading. And yeah, maybe Shaker's a bit ahead, but you don't have the early damage up necessary to kill
Top,
Meepo.
really nicely set up by J-Storm. So they started with Braille actually popping the totem so it would have the bonus damage, have it off cooldown, then they throw back the CMs. You get the initial hit, then the follow-up stun, then the secondary big hit. It was just nice timing removing that Crystal Maiden.
Well done.
But now there's 2 Arbeds.
Yeah.
So 3 heroes on top lane for the ES to deal with.
And he also had Jabs bring him both of his Wraith bands, and that is a much more powerful Meepo, because not only now is it double Meepo, but they both get all those stats too.
Can't believe the amount of denies on that off lane. Not to mention the mid lane. It's 16 denies for Ice Ice's Enigma,
no.
but MP's also done a really good job where he's 22-11 against that 11-2 of the Mirana.
Necro's a snowball in lane, and when you give him the first 3 creeps and
I
denies
bet.
for free,
Poof, gonna come over towards Braille. Jabs is here with extra control, maybe not when he gets thrown away by Millen. Already used the Frost Blast, so Rubik creating the space. Well, there's going to be a little bit more of an oomph to that Meepo.
Yep.
And DJ also in a little bit of trouble. Going to throw out Moo. March, as well as Moo, both started on DJ, but thanks to that Maleficus level 2, it's a lot of stuns, a lot of time. Moo into the trees. One more attack would do it, and they've got it. Somehow, they actually got him through the tree line.
I'm really surprised Moo didn't skill Reflection. In any lane that you're being contested in, it's a 20% move slow, 50 mana cost, 22-second cooldown. I understand you want an max farm, but...
Oh, I love it. DJ actually tosses March away to the conversions that Ice left behind on purpose. So March just got tossed totally out of the lane.
Looking real good for Fnatic. Abed got so much farm off that hard camp that J-Storm actually stacked and pulled for him. He got almost all the CS, and he's huge. They're actually winning this lane top, and man, another thing about the CM with Meepo is that you give aura to both Meepos. So you just farm. There's already stacks up in the jungle. Abed's going to clear that, and in truth, he doesn't need to lane top anymore. He'll just farm the woods the rest of this game if he wants to. 4 Wraith bans, by the way.
So they have to keep the pressure up onto the Earthshaker. And maybe that's another hero we should start looking at. Like, he was picked up 5th for J-Storm. He's meant to be the counter against Meepo. We've seen Aghanim's Earthshakers have some issues jumping into fights.
Yep.
Is this when you think about the Blink Dagger? Do they need that instant hit against the Meepo?
I mean, that was why I was thinking he had to go off, because you theoretically need both items and a ton of levels to really deal with Meepo, but it's almost too late. They don't need to address Shaker as much as now he's approaching level 6. You just play away from him, as Abed is doing. You're going to farm much faster in the jungle than a Shaker will, even if he's free farming. And there's no threat, there's no risk. Look at the wards they've placed. You know, 2 defensive wards to keep Abed safe in his own woods.
Nice little play by March. It was getting Maleficus stunned up, and he's got the level 1 Bloodlust, just trying to sit on this bottom lane as Terrorblade went jungle. Like, Moo has completely abandoned the bottom lane and said, March, leech what you can and just trying to die.
Yep, and Ice is going to finish up his HOD
Looks like
in about
Frostbite.
400 gold.
Frostbite's up. He gets a fissure for some space, but the Earthbind just holds him in position. This is one of the easiest kills you'll ever see.
And it's all because of the warding. They have a lane ward and a ward on the rune as well, so they saw the Rubik walk up and then down towards mid, and oh hey, this Shaker is very exposed and all alone. Abed, you want some free gold? Sure, buddy.
And then they add pressure. So Fnatic take the attention away from Abed as they push into the bottom tower, but that's why DJ's there. Toss, oh, he found the melee creep, not what he wanted. He wanted the Rubik, who will then taunt him, but Jab's still here to support. He does have the mana, thanks to the fact that you can consume the Mango. Get the Frostbite out into Moonlight Shadow. Millen stick charges that toss. It's not enough damage.
Radiant structures are
Close.
fortified.
Rubik able to walk away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But with the Moonlight Shadow, it looks like Moo and Forever trying to wrap around the back of Abed. Sentry Ward didn't see them.
Really well done by Abed, great positioning. No need to get greedy. He sees bottom. Ice is almost finishing this bottom tower.
They go for the toss again. Yeah, March thrown back into Ice. They don't want to commit too much. Like, no big abilities. As long as Black Hole's on cooldown, you know the rest of J-Storm don't want to come close to this. Potential denial on tower. Braille has moved in, and the Echo Slam. That'll work. the double fissure, but the kill onto Ice Ice Ice, one punch into DJ, and he'll have him as well, so one punch ES, nope, toss him out of here. Millen will finish the job, and instead they look over towards Jab, so they do take the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, but it will be 3 heroes as the rebuttal from J-Storm, a double kill for Bryle. And that's some good money. He's now actually looking to go straight into the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I think that's the move here. And it's just, it's banking. He has to use Echo off cooldown to find kills. Like you can already see, Abed and MP on that Necro are so farmed already, top net worth. And look at the core, the damage output from J-Storm, if it's going to come from anybody as far as scaling through the mid and late game, is the TB and the Mirana. And they're even right now, very far behind.
I think Ice 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 wants this kill. Chasing down towards the ES. If he is trying to bank up this cash, they need to be able to kill him off quickly now. 2,000 gold in the ES. This kill is going to actually mean so much just to delay him. Maybe a fissure. He's got 10 stick charges available plus 1 bottle charge if he can just get to the side. But now with the troll trap, he'll get 2 on the stun, but Ice 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 is positioning too good on the side, and the tree toss and the attack still not enough. Toss him down. Finally, they'll get the kill.
Yep, and they're just playing as 3. In the meantime, Abed, no desire to join the fights whatsoever. He's used both shrines for solely his own purposes, continuing to farm.
The 4 Wraith Bands treads and then going into E-Blade. It's exactly the same build as previous.
The Abed style meatball is just farm. You farm until you're in a position where you're just too strong to deal with, and anytime you find that 1 or 2 kills, like as with these items, he threatens Roche the moment he has 3 meatbows, and then he's going to be so far ahead with the Blink E-Blade that one fight, a couple kills, it'll be exactly like we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
You just kill a Rax by yourself in 15 seconds.
Shadows take us.
And that's where J-Storm needs to make sure that they have that initiation. So no pressure on an ES, just pressure on an ES.
Is under attack.
A lot of
Dire's top
push power. This is the way Ice 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 likes to work. Like pressure on all the other lanes. His team can just rotate around and he'll just send conversions down the bottom lane. Always pressure on that tier 2 tower on bottom. But the Blink Dagger is up from ES. I look for smoke once on the Ogre.
An illusion rune on Abed as well. Keep in mind he can poof to these. This is the best rune on a meatbow, especially at this phase of the game.
Echo Slam is off cooldown in 1 second time. They're going to get together with Moo. Smoke up, look for an opportunity. Millen's having a couple of problems on bottom lane. As that Centaur, which is dominated up, can be stomped up. But that's not the kill they want. They don't want Ice Ice Ice. They want... Instead, they found Necro. Was the Echo Slam committal, they probably would have really preferred to get Abed, but they'll take what they can get. Good Blink reveal to kill off the second highest net worth on the field.
Abed's looking to get engaged though. His illusions are, he's waiting with his meepos, thinking about utilizing these illusions to make a play
Dire's
aggressively.
middle tower
Pushes
is
on
under
mid-tier 1 tower. Mood triggered Metamorphosis, so he wants to try and fight, but the Observer and Sentry from J-Storm is so good. Saw both DJ as well as Ice 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 moving around the back. So J-Storm just have to reposition. Understand that Forev's not there. They do not have Moonlight Show to help commit with. But what does J-Storm even do here apart from killing off the Crystal Maiden? MP's going to TP in and try and have a crack at this ES who just begins his own TP out. Reaper's Sight will cancel it. Won't get the kill, however. So no huge duration death time.
Yeah, that's just not worth it all. You're talking about Bryle needing to take over. Yeah, he's got a blink, but
Radiant's
he's
middle
level
tower
9.
has fallen.
Meepo, on the other hand, level 12, soon to be 13. And you can't afford deaths like that for a 1,300 net worth Jab's Crystal Maiden. And again, no tower pressure either. Yeah, you've got this top tier 1, but Fnatic gave that up to you. And they have no qualms whatsoever, just continuing to maintain the status quo. They're farming so much faster, getting way more resources out of the map. And it's only going to get worse as time goes on. That's an Eagle Song now on Abed. He has E-Blade in maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a ticking time bomb with a very short fuse. And they'll just look for more and more. Like, Rubik is doing the best he can with Fade Bolt, and what is now timed out the Stolen Nova to try and keep the bottom lane gone. But Fnatic, they 4-man smoke up, and they won't allow this much longer. Dire scan, they know that no one's up the hill. But Shaker, just around the corner, Smoke's going to break. DJ thinks he's on the corner, Observe War to see around corners. But then Moonlight Shadow also burned up from J-Storm. Can they get the pick up onto DJ?
Dire's
Millen decides against it. They still want the bigger hit. They plant down their own. They plant down 2 sentries, but do not find the Observer Ward of Fnatic. And Fnatic are fully ready to fight on bottom lane. They have practically everyone there until Abed will TP out. Yep. Back to the farm.
There's no need for them to take any risks at the moment. They've got the stronger team fight. They have a Meepo. If they can get a good fight on that ward they placed in the bottom jungle, sure, you'll take it if you get walked into, but there's no need to do anything silly.
Just be defensive for now. Long range Yara is not going to connect on jabs. He's already on the run out. Put down his own observer and sentry, but even without the vision, they blink up. They knew he went that way. So Crystal Maiden will fall. Rubik will fall as well on the bottom lane. Ice, and DJ comboing together to make it work. They have the observer ward, so they got the perfect information on top of the tier 2 tower.
Is under attack.
Trade-off will then be the tier 1 tower in mid for heavy damage on the tier 2 plus the kill.
Yep. Abed just still farming. They're now mirroring map. Position favors Fnatic solely because the Radiant lineup of J-Storm has no real way to threaten the Rosh pit, so they don't care about swapping jungles, because again, look at how much Abed's farming his triple camp on the Shrine and these 2 camps of Radiant, in addition to wherever his main Meepo wants to threaten, so he's in no hurry. This is peaceful.
He's swapping his Meepos up on top. They will smoke up as well. Moving to the tier 2 tower, Moosebird, the Metamorphosis try and push out. Does not have the mana for Sunder at the moment. Something to keep in mind as Ice arrives. No Blink Dagger available, cuts through the trees. And J-Storm will back off, and Fnatic will deny the top tier 2 tower. Much needed money that J-Storm needs, just going to waste.
Yeah, and again, that whole time, Abed is still farming. That's what's so crazy about the Meepo hero in general, but also when you have this great player on it. You can make these moves from Fnatic that are more about defensive posturing than anything else. As you said, it's the resource game. You don't care if you lose the tower. You don't care about map control up there anyway. It's just delay the game, keep the status quo.
You just get the critical items. That's all they really need. E-Blade is completed, and the big combo when Fnatic will get fully aggressive is the Blink Dagger on Abed. When that's arrived, it's jump in, it's go. There's a Blink Dagger rapidly approaching on Ice. They're going to ensure they get, actually not, they got 1 bounty ring because Millen is invis. He's able to steal the demonic conversions. DJ's going to burn the dust, so they will find the Rubik. Pick up, throw him away, cannot afford to get tossed. Does have a TP scroll available. And Millen, yeah, you can taunt him to there, but Earthbinding Abed has arrived. And Millen will go down to DJ and reveals all 5 players of Fnatic on the bottom.
Yep, and the panel was talking about how the 4 heroes of J-Storm can't deal with the Meepo. I mean, you've got a Shaker, sure, but everyone else is just a tasty snack for the Abed Meepo, especially the support duo of Rubik and Ogre. You can stun one guy, but I actually think that Meepo might kill you in the duration of the lift if you're a half-second slow.
I was actually thinking of any other way that Earthshaker can actually amp up his damage, but he's gone a half defensive item with the Yule Scepter. Yeah, movement speed's nice, Yule's hot pickup is nice too, but like how do you actually even amplify the damage against Abed when you're that DPS? How do you make him more effective?
I'm the wrong person to ask how to beat me. Although I did do it once, but it was with a pocket strat, and I believe we were playing DC when Abed was still playing with them, and they picked it like 3rd. We had this weird like Drow Wyvern. There's a reason Fnatic banned Wyvern, okay? They don't gonna ever give that away again.
Yeah, they banned that in 2nd phase of this game. Looks like tree grab up. That's a fake Meepo, but you can still poof over towards it if he wants to. Pick up, throw around the tower. Ice will wrap around the back. And Millen knows he is royally screwed. Fade bolts through, but still dead to the world.
Dead to Abed specifically.
Wait, to the illusion?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Give him more money.
You just farm so much. He's at 10k net worth. The Terrorblade currently at 6.7.
And he just used the illusion to jump into Roshan.
Yep.
Like it's so good with the way he moves. One illusion gets a kill on bottom, the other one goes in towards Roshan.
Yep.
And then he can just bring his core Meepos. They'll pull back out of it. Did manage to take off 1/3 of Roshan's life in I think what 3 seconds.
Yep, and that's the key to playing Meepo, because once again, you can see Abed and the whole team of Fnatic just minimizing risk. It's all about growing your lead, get to the point where Meepo has Aegis and is just too powerful to stop, then start looking to close out. But you just relax. He goes to Roach, realize they see him, back to farming, no worries. I got a Blink Dagger soon.
They all have Blink Daggers soon. If you look at the items of Fnatic, there's 4 Blink Daggers on Fnatic. The only person who doesn't have one is the Sacrificial Crystal Maiden.
And it's great. They're just going to go ham. They've got crazy good team fight. And if you just cause a little chaos for J-Storm, specifically identify and deal with that Earthshaker, Abed can clean up everybody else.
I love the confidence from Fnatic too. Like they're sitting half in the river and they'll still 4-man smoke. because they realize that J-Storm have no control of this map
Yep.
whatsoever.
They do know the smoke is coming, but there's the scan onto the high ground as well.
Yep, they know. Invis room for DJ as well. Smoke doesn't want to break the jump out. They'll find Mirana, toss it back in again. Yes, it's going to be your moment to shine! He hits the Echo Slam with a follow-up fissure. They kill off Meepo, and P still inside the pit. Fnatic, you knew what could kill you, and you still die to it. 3 heroes lost. There's a toss-up on the backside for Rev. He's low. The arrow will create a little bit of space. The tree toss from DJ cannot get the kill. Fnatic, they're going to potentially lose 4, but ice! It's a black hole with no follow-up. This is the saddest time to even get the steal in it. No, they don't. 5 heroes from Fnatic die beyond a disaster.
Dude.
It's a debacle.
The moment I started talking about how it's good for Fnatic, I immediately, I just knew that was going to happen.
The Kyle curse
I
is
knew it was
real.
gonna happen.
The Kyle curse is real.
How? I said you got to deal with the Earthshaker. You don't care about this Mirana. He's got a Maelstrom. If you want to make that play, you got to be chilling in the back of Zabit, because not only did his 4 Meepos get jumped on, MP was right on top of him too. That's a huge kill. That's Roche. What happened? Look, this play is great. If they toss back into a Scythe or something like that, that's great. But Abed just walking in. Look at how close together everybody did. This is a 4-man Echo.
Yep.
Oh
Jabs
my
even
God.
clipped so hard on the edge of it. And they didn't even get
They
the original
scanned.
kill. Yeah, they scanned. They knew. They knew exactly what they were going to go up against. But still, walking into it.
I mean,
And there's no way to really, like...
Brawl isn't making patty cakes in like the opposite lane. This is a major. He's ready to go. And then unfortunately, Ice, yeah, he could potentially save DJ there, but really just blowing black hole and dying for the cause is nice, but you didn't need to make a martyr yourself there.
And now the items start to arrive, like, look at the swing up. Just go for it. The Blink Dagger on Rubik just saved his life on bottom lane. Fnatic came for a gank. But the fact now you got a repositioning Rubik in the fight, that's the worst case scenario. Like, you know, what would be the worst case scenario is if Rubik wasn't permanently stunned and his spell steal wasn't on cooldown, and he actually stole Black Hole. Because that was my biggest concern for Fnatic, was the fact that Meepo would be countered by a big ability. Like, you mentioned Tidehunter was going to be absolutely terrible in the draft. Now you give him Black Hole. And yeah, win probability against an Abed Meepo.
That was the only thing you couldn't do. That was the worst thing that could have possibly happened.
Jabs is about to die. He's out too far. Ogre does TP over. The Reaper's Scythe will put him down for a minute. The 1-for-1 trade-off. Keeping out towards the shrine. Maybe not the greatest idea when they have no information about what's there.
And this is huge because it denies the Aegis timing for your Meepo. And in addition, it gives Mu time to finish a BKB. Until you pick up that item as a Terrorblade, you just feed in this game. But now you have the ability...
That time's gone. He's got the BKB.
Yeah, you might get low, but you always have the option now to sunder any of the full HP Meepos aggressively on the next. So you got a lot of options.
Millen this time will die on bottom lane. He was right underneath the observe wall. They've pinged the position of it. They know it's there.
It's still a sketchy game. There's really no other way to deal with Meepo other than that.
At least it's closer. Like, we started this game thinking, well, this game's in the bag for Fnatic, and now we actually have a game on our hands.
It was kind of in the bag. They just left it untied in a corner and forgot about it for a while. And now all of a sudden, we've got a real rumble on our hands, and it's going to still be rough for J-Storm, because not only do they have the Meepo issues, but eventually Ice is going to finish his BKB about 2.5k away, and you have no BKB piercing disable. It's all on the Milan Rubik to get some crazy steal into the counter black hole that I know you'd love to see.
I would love to see that. I think it's also a lot on Mu, right? Like, Mu has to be able to ensure that he's outside of the black hole. But just a straight physical damage, there's nothing Ice can do to protect himself from that. BKB will not help him on that front. And they've got the range damage here. Now it's time to get rid of that Observer Ward. Both of them are still on bottom lane. The Sentry comes in from March. So say goodbye to one.
Yep.
They like, feels like that Obs has been there for so long in front of the tier 2 tower. I think they've redone that one, right?
Yeah, that's the second time. It's a really nice ward, and as you can see, it juked both sentries. Actually, a bit of a mistake from March placing one on that top hill. You should be placing that either down below 500, 600 units or the top right.
It's probably because they also have no vision on the
Exactly,
hillside.
and that's why I advocate new 5 positions, always playing supports that can check high ground. It just makes your warding so much more efficient, but alas...
Bottom lane. Fortifications up. DJ is in a good jump position, but Mu's the only one that's really becoming the target, but he's got the Aegis of the Immortal, so this is J-Storm adding pressure with the Aegis. This is the wrong way around.
Dire's bottom
Bra's going to get the last hit in the tower using the Totem Storm. Almost actually stunned DJ with it,
trouble.
but they'll find him in the tree lines. Reaper's Sight. It didn't get used, but then again with the CM ulti, Jabs can't survive. There's that big physical damage from Moo. And that gets him a double kill. Jabs and DJ fall of it. No ES, and now Ice. He jumped in, but he didn't go for the black hole. Abed able to get the double Earth Spine. Can they get the follow-up, however? Yeah, they've got it. Reaper's Sight putting him down. Millen and March. The M&Ms crumble.
You can see with no shaker, all of a sudden, Abed, he actually joined the fight a bit late for my liking, but he cleans up anyway. As you said, the double Earth Bind, the easy combo, and really well done there by DJ, just reacting faster to Bryle. Bryle just really aggressively positioned, considering he is the only answer to the Abed Meepo.
Oh, goodbye for Rev.
Yep.
J-Storm, I think, was looking towards the mid lane because there was a little Satyr that was wandering around, wondering if J-Storm was going to walk directly into mid lane, Fnatic walk into mid lane, try and gank up terribly, but Moo's already moved back.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Abed's going to finish this Manta or not. He's got enough gold, but he might just go for a Scotty, just for the raw stats, or possibly a Scythe. Because if he just blinks on the Shaker, as we've been talking about, I don't think he has any threat on him anymore. He will finish the Manta, so more targets for Bryle if he can land that magical Echo Slam.
The dream.
Yeah, they need the dream again.
Fnatic did kind of gift it to them on a silver platter.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we're gonna go for Roshan. The timing is right. You're smoked up, we're smoked up. We have a scan, we see what's going on, but don't worry, you can still have
Maybe I just got to keep praising them and then them make another mistake. Because up until that point, they'd done a great job, you know, playing a bit passively, but it didn't feel like they had any pressure. And then until they made that mistake, I didn't think they did. So we'll see. Level 23 on Abed.
Dire are scanning.
So it's so difficult for J-Storm to play this kind of game because the lane shove from Meepo is just insane. You can look, there's going to have, one wave is already approaching their tier 3 bottom. This mid wave will hit the tier 2, and you still kind of have to clump up and play around Bryle Earthshaker because if he's not there, you're in some big trouble. Great vision placed by Jabs, just scouting out all the movements of J-Storm. And
same thing from J-Storm's vision too. They're seeing Fnatic moving all the way around their own jungle, so both teams are fully aware of each other's position. And the smoke, it's out of range. It's out of range of that Radiant Observer ward. But the pings are already coming in. But the Meatbo, heading towards top lane. Looking for the ES.
big kill if they can find it. Bryle has a buyback.
Yeah, he can't get greedy and try and farm up those conversions. Like, he's already hit the totem. They're wrapping around the back of him and sitting on the trees. There goes the Fissure as the conversions are timing out. TP out, Enigma, he'll see him. Midnight Pulse to cut the tree line, and Bryle dead for a very long time.
That's just a bit of inexperience there. No one's showing on the map. It's a nice play to try and hide there, find a kill, but you got to assume that they know you're in the vicinity after that long off map.
BKB Enigma is done.
Yep. No interrupt possible. Save that Rubik, so keep a big eye on Jabs. He's going to need to make a miraculous move here, because if I'm at Ice, you just go straight for that Shaker, pop BKB. What's the counterplay now to control Abed?
None, really. Unless Fnatic walk underneath Vision. So watch the Obs and Sentries as well.
The MP Necro is also a bit of a force in these fights, because he can just get super aggressive. He's got Ghost Shroud and Yules to save himself, and the physical damage output of Moo just completely ineffective against him. It's really just all on a crazy sick J-Storm stun combination. But again, that Fnatic team fight, especially with the BKB Ice.
Yeah. As long as he can get it off, though. BKB is always one of those fun items. Like, I need to be able to click it before it's ever going to be effective. Not like Linken's that just gets the trigger. How does J-Storm then do this? Okay, they're centering up. They should feel pretty confident on like all sides of 3 sentries that they are not in any kind of vision. They actually threw down 4 sentries across the top. The Fnatic will smoke up themselves. The only person who is not inside that is MP. Roshan will respawn in about a minute.
J-Storm really want to force a fight around a choke point. Fnatic wants to be able to utilize open spaces so that they can maintain more of like a delta split position and ensure that Abed has freedom to move within the fights. J-Storm, you just want everybody to come to Papa, that Bryle.
Enigma, he sees it, jumps in instantly. They know that ES is the primary target, and they've brought him down. Buyback is available. It was only the Midnight Pulse that was stolen by the Rubik. That was not the ability he was looking for. And actually, buyback. Where did it go? Okay, yeah, he started buying pieces of his BKB, and then the buyback disappeared for the ES. Instantly sold, however.
And bear in mind, as time goes on, you have TB Illusions doing a bit of side lane shove, but Abed Meepo, he's getting experience off that as well. Constantly pushing waves. And remember, that level 25 talent, 600 health for every Meepo.
Sure. How do you get through that? Like, is that when actually the stolen Midnight Pulse is probably more useful? With the Aghanims upgrade, if you get Black Hole, it does give you that extra buff. So,
do bear in mind though, the game is even. You do have a BKB on Forev. The whole advantage, sorry, the game is even, not counting Meepo's edge. That's the real conundrum for J-Storm. How do you deal with Abed Meepo?
he's got to Reaper Scythe too, so
Yeah.
anyone he can gank up when he jumps in.
They do have an answer in the TB Thunder. It just takes that one play. We saw it once. If
Yeah.
they can make magic happen another time, they will equalize. And Aegis is huge in this game. Again, Fnatic need it to be able to close out.
Yep. And Roshan is up. He's been up for about 30 seconds. Both teams are aware of this. And once again, J-Storm grouping up. It was just around their sentries. Push the lane. But the bottom is also being pushed out. That's why Terrorblade Illusion's heading down there to deal with it for the moment. And everyone's just accepting the status quo. There's the smoke finally. So J-Storm, their time to go. So either they go inside of Roshan, which is difficult because the Dominator Creep has currently got a Wild Wing Ripper Tornado sitting inside of it.
Usually in life, the first mover has an advantage, but in this game, I would strongly favor whoever's defensively positioned. It is so tough to team fight into either of these lineups.
That's a great conversion from Enigma. He can just get rid of that Observer up on the hillside, but there's the wraparound in through the rear. They're going to see MP to start with, but he blinks away. They don't get the initiation onto him, and says it's going to be the Crystal Maiden. Definitely not the target they want. Now DJ also hard to kill. Eyes. BKB will trigger. He'll get the Black Hole, but he only gets the Ogre Magi. This is not what he wanted. A Black Hole was stolen. Rubik is there, ready to go, wondering where the Meepo is. Abed so far has decided not to jump in, but now he's got the pending Blink Black Hole of the Rubik looming over his head if they want to try and contest Roshan.
That was like they just didn't identify the right target, because if Shaker hasn't entered the fight, Abed needs to know where he is, and he'll just go straight for him. But he was still under cover of smoke as that fight began. March doing his job, what he does best, walking into the team fight, just total berserker style, make space. They kill jabs off to the side in one smack of the totem, and March then stops the DJ Blink. 4M chases him out of the fight, and Ice, he tries to respond, but he only gets a Black Hole on March. That's part of March's plan. That's his trap card.
It's what the Ogre is meant for. He's thick, he's dumb, but he'll tank it. And Rubik, it's the fact that he just has this. He has this Black Hole. Jabs up in the tree lines. Brant's going to stun him up, so say goodbye to your freezing field and say goodbye to your Crystal Maiden. I don't know if he was trying to push out or what exactly was the objective to be had by this Crystal Maiden, but they gave another kill over towards this ES, who was rapidly approaching his own BKB, and we'll see this fight once again. So here's March running in,
and
Necro jumps away, Crystal Maiden's out of position.
Look at where Abed is. Abed is just trying to engage, but Necro was forced to blink out. Ice just really has to get out of dodge here, but he's trying to turn around the fight. But as you can see, Abed, he has no intention of joining this fight. The moment they lose one and he sees that the Necro's blinked out, DJ's in trouble, you can't really engage this fight. Meepo is more of a hero that you enter fights that are already won and you make them total routes. It's difficult to turn it around when at this point you're up against multiple BKBs now. Rubik's got Black Hole. All of a sudden,
he's got
answers.
upgraded Black Hole. He just finished the Aghanim after 32 minutes in. This is what we're talking about. Like, Meepo hits level 25, great. He did go to plus 600 health, but he becomes his own worst enemy. DJ's in the trees, J-Storm is on the hunt. But DJ's TP out will be successful as J-Storm checked the wrong direction.
Yeah, this is like peak Meepo, as we've been saying. Like, he's going for a second E-Blade just to max out on the stat gain, his damage output. But as far as his team fight effectiveness, this is as good as it gets. You're level 25, you've got Blink Hex, Blink E-Blade, you're ready to go. But J-Storm, you're still good in this game. I can't believe it, honestly. Like, they've...
Hey, the Kyle curse?
If they somehow pull this off, it's got to be real.
This is like this is the positive way of having a Kyle curse. You actually get yourself a fantastic game. A Meepo with 22 to 23,000 net worth. He is still a good 5k above anybody else, but he just can't carry this game any harder. And so far, like, in the last two big engagements from the teams, it feels like MP is a non-factor.
Yeah.
Like he wants to jump in and get that Reaper Scythe, needs someone to combo with. When he does it, okay, great, but
Yeah, and J-Storm, you have 3 BKBs on all your cores now. Meepo doesn't crush through you like a hot knife does cheese anymore. You're good. You're getting on high. Man, yeah.
oh, Carl, you're unique.
With pops. This is good. J-Storm, you can go here. Meepo has not applied enough pressure to the top tower, and he really can't because you're afraid of that Earthshaker who's off the map to the side.
Yep, and ES is walking around with a cheese, and it's Terrorblade with the Aegis, the Immortal, so they're already feeling pretty good. Crystal Maiden stunned up, and he moves uphill to get the hit. DJ, he's come to the front lines, jabs, there's Bryle jumping in for the kill secure. Crystal Maiden couldn't get away from this, and Moo, you'll use the Sunder back up to full life, but he's still got the Aegis, the Immortal, and Meepo, Abed's not really pressuring the top lane. Bottom lane, he's ready to jump. In a couple of seconds, the Fissure, the arrow will not be able to follow up into ISIS. It really wasn't ready for the Fissure to connect on that.
I'd like to see J-Storm be a bit more aggressive. They still have meta for a few more seconds. I want them to at least get tier 3.
It's like 2 seconds they got meta for. Ignite through the back. Enigma has to blink away from that one because he'll just have his blink on cooldown for so long. Tier 3 tower will fall for Rev. Some damage into the range racks. It's the sustained damage that cannot be regenerated. But they'll back up underneath their Observer Ward. Now time to finish up the Shrine.
They won't have meta again before Aegis pops, but you have a Scotty on Terrorblade now, and the burst damage from Fnatic, you have the potential, but oh man, they lost Enigma Black Hole in the Rubik as well. I would have liked to see them position a bit more aggressively once they killed that CM. They might be able to get racks, but
you know what he's going to look for now? It's just going to be the Reaper's Scythe with... it's like you got the Aghanims upgraded one too.
Yeah. A lot of pressure on Ice to make a play here because he's the real answer to the Moo TB now.
Well, he's wrapped around the side, but you can see Munch, as you said, doing his job. Looking up the hill, it's a little bit too late. Now the jump in, they go instantly onto the Ogre. Moves there, ready to rock and rumble. Reaper Side does come down and kill off Munch.
They saw it.
100 seconds worth of a death. And no, it was Death Pulse. He got the Death Pulse only.
It's well played, though, by MP. You can't give away sight in this game. Not only is it the cancel the Enigma Black Hole, but it's just so much damage in that respawn extra duration.
I like how Isis is getting the Lincoln Sphere too. Like, he could have been looking at Refresher, he could have been looking at this kind of stuff as we've seen him do previously. But instead it's Lincoln's. You've got to block the seal some way.
Yeah. And there's no way to cancel it through BKB unless they want to Sunder into Rubik Steel. So definitely the right choice here. Whenever you're in a position as Enigma to ensure your black hole is uninterruptible, I think it's always a safe bet that you can itemize for it.
It's timed out now, the Aegis the Immortal. Jabs is already establishing vision for an aggressive play for Fnatic. He's got 2 observers and 3 sentries. But look at the line, the box that's being drawn right now by Millen. He knows exactly where they are. They're pushed in the bottom lane. No one's there to defend it instantly, but I bet he'll break his smoke. And now they know the top lane, that black hole. Oh boy, that's what they wanted. ES is down. Same with the Mirana. What have we got for a steal? It's only going to be a tree toss. Fnatic, they just waited for it.
Yep.
And they got the right time. Now you push, now you force buyback?
Yep. I mean, that just, they know they're there.
Abed jumping in, looking for Millen. He was just short of him. He'll hit the earth fine, but double buybacks will arrive. Thanks to this, we'll move. Well, actually, yeah, blink, echo slam, straight forward. Bryle, the controller's out. Meepo, he's going to go down. He E-blades, so they can't actually attack into the weakened Meepo, but it won't stop Move from beating through another one. So Meepo will fall, Crystal Maiden will join him as well, die next to his tier 2 tower as Ice completes his TP out. So buybacks were committed, but they did get the big one. They did kill off Meepo.
True, but you've also now given Fnatic a win condition. If you can kill Bryle again, as we've seen time and time again, Abed's only threat is that Shaker. You got, they're in such a fine position. They walk out of base to defend a tier 2, just no need for that. You can see just the immediate buyback. There was actually a long TP from the Shaker. This might have been even better for J-Storm, but it's a 5-second TP. You still have time to get to Abed. I'm surprised he poofed all in. If he had maybe kept on the outside or ran right, something like that, it's just difficult.
Now it's J-Storm's turn to try and force some level of issue.
They want to force buyback on Meepo. It's very important. They don't have meta, but that's still a bloodlusted Terrorblade. He wrecks buildings.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And up through the mid. Creep wave's already arriving, and J-Storm, they're slipping in through the bottom. Their sentry wall's down on either side, but they want to take the racks. Force back a Meepo buyback. He'll be more concerned about the racks. As, well, DJ, he couldn't clean through the illusion to try and get a toss back. In fact, I don't know what he actually tossed. It died instantly. Instead, it's just DJ who'll die. They take the bottom melee ranks, exactly what J-Storm wanted, and they get out.
And they have a nice Arcane Rune bottom. I hope Bryle, he could actually, I guess you could pick it up on the Shaker. I was thinking maybe you save it for your Terror Blade, but that's fine. Moo almost has enough gold to finish Butterfly and have buyback, and then he'll be pretty much capped out. And he's even now with the Meepo. So we were talking about damage output and J-Storm having problems. This is the stage of the game where their draft peaks. You said, I don't like Terrorblade Ogre as an opener either, but hey, when you get to 40 minutes in an even game,
Sure, enjoy it.
hell yeah.
But now the Lincoln Sphere is also on the Enigma, so Stolen Black Hole is very, very difficult unless they get that initial jump stun. March, he's dropping his sentries. He brought a lot because they lost the gem as well in the previous fights.
Yeah, that was the other thing. They've had the illusion of confidence because 4 have had that gem, but immediately Black Holed by Aisu. Has to make another big play. He's got that Lincoln's. You cannot interrupt Black Hole unless you do some crazy Sunder shenanigans, but we'll see. He's got to get the Terror Blade like we've been talking about. You have a big issue with your Meepo. It's cool, right? Because you have Shaker that answers Meepo, Enigma that answers TB. And that's really all the teams have to deal with these very...
This is a really good spawn time for J-Storm as long as they can watch Roshan. The catapult will come in. Leave the illusion, March. Leave the illusion. It's got 5 seconds before Roshan spawns. Enigma conversions are coming down as well to have a look for it.
The refresher shard as well. How do you deal with a Shaker with 2 echoes and an Enigma with 2 black holes? Game changing.
Roshan is alive, but J-Storm,
They're smoked.
yeah, they see the vision everywhere. They don't actually see it up on the hillside. Okay, now they do. Yep. Boom, boom. Knock it down. Fnatic actually have like their only observer and sentries that currently exist, and now behind where the tier, they're right back on top lane, almost at J-Storm's base. The map is so dark and full of terrors.
It's difficult. You can't really walk up high ground. We can talk about the defensive team having an advantage. If you're J-Storm here, this is a risky maneuver. You're
Roshan, Fnatic is so far away from it. They're not here to fight.
As long as March and 4F stay on this high ground, they'll be fine.
They did burn Metamorphosis to get this. They can't easily just chain out, but here comes Fnatic. They're rolling forward. Tiny, he's close. Mirana gonna show herself, but BK beat up. There's more of a distraction. Aegis Immortal is in the hand of Moo, and you've got the chase onto the Crystal Maiden from Farev. Doesn't see him, but the arrow! Ice actually tanked it, so Chad can survive.
That's no buyback.
Was short range, 100 seconds on the sideline for Mirana. This will waste a lot of time. Aegis Cheese and Refresher, however, did get into the hands of J-Storm.
I love that first leap. I could see an argument for the second. The third one, at that point, you've made the space. Maybe it's time to turn around, but it's all good.
I've heard the phrase, third leap's the charm.
Yeah. And now you're in a position, if you're Fnatic, yeah, maybe you could threaten a bit, but you know the Terrorblade has Aegis.
But do you still go it? Like,
probably get a tier 2.
Mirana is down. You know her buyback because it's on cooldown. There was not a question of money. They know it's not there. So it's a 4v5. As long as Fnatic keep their positioning good, they've got the BKB Black Hole and Ice.
You were talking about wards. They would prefer to fight in this area while that high ground ward to their left is still standing.
But they don't have that creep wave on top. Like, Arbed just sent a couple of Meepos up there to deal with it. But that's Moo. They think it's probably an illusion, but that's the real one. He's almost using it like it is an illusion.
Yeah. Bear in mind that Necro has a Radiance, so every reflection mid-fight limits the amount of damage a Meepo can deal physically.
Oh, I suppose it goes the other way too, right? Like Terrorblade trying to beat through it.
I think Fnatic could have made a play there. Moo was standing out in front of his tower for a few seconds.
Now they're going to go bottom. That's a huge creep wave coming in. The Meepo has to clean this up, but it's also not the hero you want to have this on. Like, okay, Arbed's going to get a little bit more money so he can buy up the BTs, but at what point do you sit there saying, well, we actually need to start pumping money into everybody else?
Well, this is no longer the phase of the game Meepo thrives in. They wanted to close this game out earlier, but J-Storm's done a great job controlling the pit.
Yep.
They've got every single Aegis.
Mirana was dead for how long?
Yeah.
And now is back up with no real advantage for Fnatic.
It's tough. They need Aegis. Simply put, you can't contest J-Storm as the aggressor at the moment because they've got the BKBs. They've got the Shaker now with the Refresher as expected. And March just waddling in slowly, has a Glimmer Cape, 2,000 HP.
Tiny's getting into position so we can actually fight this. Like he's in the back lines. Shadowblade now going to be burnt. They want to try and find the initiation, but they need information to do it.
This is cool. Ice has a Dark Scroll Summoner, so even if he gets the Rubik to a steal on the black hole, he can cancel it himself with his HOD creep.
DJ jumps in.
Toss
He's
back.
already going towards Moon. That puts him in very, very deep with the Echo Slam. It does heavy damage. Black hole out from Ice, but it is followed by Millen, and he turned it around. He actually cooked the Crystal Maiden in the tree line, so she'll fall as well. The Terrorblade is standing his ground to fight. Remember, he has the Aegis of the Immortal. He hasn't gone down yet, and this Terrorblade inside the Metamorphosis still doesn't want to die. There's another toss back. This time it's over on the Ogre after double buyback from Fnatic. They need to keep this solid defense going. But then they still can't get the kill. Finally, they're able to do it.
Abed's still ratting bottom, though. He's TPing a Meepo in. He's going to look to poof in soon. He got the glyph already. He'll be taking bottom racks in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, he actually stopped his jump in.
Ooh.
He was TPing over, but he didn't complete it.
That's unfortunate. He would have 100% got at least the tier 3.
Yeah,
They
the rest
preserve
of them are now arriving.
3 buybacks for Arax, though. Definitely not worth, but
Ogre's going to buy back too. Like he's going to be the one to defend it as J-Storm want to go once again. They still have the Aegis on the Terrorblade. They have already used the Refresher Shard, so Brow's got a second ultimate ready to rock and rumble. He just needs a target to do it on. And Ice presents himself for half a second. No black hole for him. How did we actually get through? Did he not burn the BKB?
on her. No, he got the Sunder. The Sunder actually canceled the Lincolns.
Okay.
Which, and still somehow Mu preserves his Aegis. He was just fighting at 180 HP, cleans up both kills, thanks to the great ultimate response by Milan. Bear in mind, it's all about the Aegis. It's fading in 45 seconds. They will not have meta up once again. And as long as this game continues, it's still anybody's ball game because both cores, or both teams rather, have cores capable of getting megas in a 1 minute window, let alone a 2 minute respawn like these level 25 heroes rather will soon have.
J-Storm are just moving into rune control now. Fnatic, they're just looking to come outside their own base. This is what they would like. Luckily for them, they still have that that stolen gem to get rid of any aggressive vision that J-Storm have, but the 45-minute bounty runes are up. And you wait for the next Roshan time, 3 minutes before he can potentially respawn. That's a very long time for Fnatic to sit inside their base. At least the Meepo can keep doing split pushes, because he keeps just TPing out and then sending his Mantra Illusions to push in the lane. And it's always bottom. He always is trying to push out the bottom lane again.
You see both teams just afraid, but still J-Storm able to output more pressure on the map just because they're the team with the Terrorblade, not a Meepo. The next big clash is going to be for Roche. We'll respawn anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes from now.
They're pinging out Mu. We just realized that no one took the bounty runes on bottom lane. With Meepo's pressuring, he probably thought they were both gone.
Yep. I like this decision. You want to be cutting this wave because Meepo can only maintain presence down here if there's a creep. And if you clear them out, all of a sudden, they're going to be fully locked in the Fnatic base. And that's what you want to make sure you can do here as J-Storm.
You have a BKB on the Rubik.
That's...
Oof. Yeah.
I like how both the Rubik and Enigma itemize for black holes. Like, they understand what they got to do.
This is exactly the way we had our game previously. It's like, well, okay, if I hit this, we should be able to win it. But it's also the telekinesis land distance, so it's a long pick and grab back. We've already seen Tiny being really effective in some situations for Fnatic, but just that reposition. But telekinesis does pretty much the same thing now.
Oh, they saw that
5-man smoke up, those right underneath the Dire Obs and Sentry.
And they're going to go camp the high ground where they know they have sentries and a ward of their own. Fnatic, they're set up nicely.
There's the
J-Storm
scan.
walk in.
The scan to confirm it too, and it will be the Ogre. He pings it, so they are fully aware. DJ's under the cover of his own Shadow Blade. Is they going to put a sentry a little bit closer? Moonlight Shadow as well from J-Storm.
Looking for a tossback.
They're underneath the sentry ward. And they have to know there's so much information, so Forever will reveal himself for half a second.
They want to look to pre-click a scythe onto one of these targets, preferably Forev.
It's Millen. See him, they actually Lincoln Sphere at the back. He's Lincoln Sphere up because the Black Hole's back off cooldown.
They're under dire wards though. They really
there's your toss back. They found their target. Mu gonna BKB very, very quickly. Reflection turned on. They just focus onto the range ranks to begin with. They're still trying to keep this Rubik in a very threatening position. And he kind of is. And Ogre is the only one on the front lines that can go on. But that's not the target they wanted. Actually connects into Necro Sand committal. They need to get back out again. Fortification's been burnt. Necro has buyback available. And now the jump. DJ gets the toss back. And it's onto the Hex up for Rev. Abed wants to finish the job, but he didn't do it just yet. Now the Black Hole is picked up. Terrorblade. But the bigger one! The return from Rubik! The real Enigma! Minimal level double kill. Buybacks now. Thick and fast from both sides. Varana's back up, but 3 heroes then from Fnatic. It's all up to Abed to repel the J-Storm invaders. He's invis with Glimmer Cape. He taunted and went the other direction. He's TPing out of this entire fight. Ogre will not be able to do so, however. He knows he has to die for this cause. But my god.
Keep in mind, now 3 heroes dead, they all have buyback, but Meepo can move out on the map very quickly and look to possibly make some plays. 4 have no buyback down in the bottom lane, but you've got to be afraid if you're Abed. You know there's no Echo, but your Meepo still die just to the damage and stun combination of these heroes. And my god, what an Enigma hole.
Which one? Which one do you want to go on? The Rubik's, okay.
That was great. That is a treat to watch. And
they knew it, though. They knew it. Like, that Lincoln Sphere got completed up on Mirana just before the fight was even beginning, and you're going to see it right now.
The key is that they committed their BKBs early enough that they pushed Fnatic back and ensured they would get the racks no matter how this fight went. And yeah, Milan turns this around, but it could have very possibly been a few more casualties for J-Storm, if not for that big turnaround, but they would have got the objective, and that's critical because they just need that one more for Megas, and it's so hard to come back from Megas with a draft like Fnatic's.
Yep. Still cannot believe it. Like, he actually almost had a 4-man. Like, it was so close to Ice actually being dragged into this as well. And now you look towards the next Roshan. Critical moment, 22 seconds away from spawn time. The couriers are trying to scout him out. Poor little courier. He's still got a shield available, so juke it up. Juke as hard as you possibly can. Get over the trees and away from Abed. He's trying to earthbind it.
And you could see as well, Abed really didn't have any presence in that fight until all the BKBs and the Black Hole were expended. The only way he can initiate without an Aegis is that he gets something tossed back into his Hex, and that's what happened, and that's why 4F died, but the Terrorblade is the real threat. He's finishing a Daedalus. He is 6-slotted.
But if ISIS can control him, you have double Black Hole. Refresher Orb is completed on the Enigma. Roshan has just spawned up. Everybody has everything available, apart from Rubik not having already stolen Black Hole. That's the only difference in this fight. So Fnatic, they smoke. They're looking for the opportunity. Anything they can find. J-Storm are pretty much together apart from March. He's back at the base at the moment, trying to walk back out. The Direwall scan. Looks like Braal's going to actually he's going to trigger it. DJ looks for a Brawl very quick on the blink away. Dodges the attack of Fnatic. The smoke will fail.
The big target for Fnatic, other than the Terrorblade, if they could find him with no cost to themselves, is 4F. He has no buyback.
They took the Dominator creep out, so no more easy scouting.
Game completely even at 51 minutes in. You can see it flip-flopping back and forth. Whoever gets this next Roche will be 100% in the driver's seat. Racks be damned. They don't mean anything in a game with all the map control these teams can export.
How many E-Blazes does it really get before it's getting ridiculous? That is now the 3rd E-Blade over on Abed.
What else do you buy, though? That's the thing. You're a Meepo. You get stats. You kill buildings, heroes.
What happened to the old days? It's like, we're just going to start stacking Skardis onto the Meepo or something like this. Not even a butterfly. Doesn't even want that. Well, Frostbite over on the Ogre. Moot is working on Roshan. He's out too far. The Echo Sound. They just want to kill off the Enigma straight away. They have the damage. Now you'll go for the Black Hole. Milan's got the space. And he's got the Black Hole as well. Ice is down for 2 minutes. He has nothing left to give apart from the refresh robot on bottom lane. Abed's pushing in. He's taking the tier 3 towers. They're pretty heavily split up. Abed, the Black Hole! Milan's got it. March is there to follow up. They're just going to hold him in position. The multi-cast stunts and the Braille. He is there. The ES. The arrow will connect as well. And they've got the kill. Meepo is down. Buyback is available. Roshan is alive and kicking. But Fnatic, how many team fights can go this way for J-Storm? It's meant to be Fnatic's.
Ice cannot ult there. That's the 2nd time he wastes an ultimate, which usually isn't so bad, but you're giving it away to an Ags Rubik. You
Yep.
can't do that.
Hey, the bright side, Millen's going to have that on cooldown for 2 minutes. He can't use the black hole again in the next engagement.
Yep.
So J-Storm actually need to delay the fight before they engage again. And
No,
now
buyback
the jump,
before.
DJ actually pulling out Pharrev. Leap away, get the hell out of dodge with the Reaper's side. That
Oh,
will
no.
kill him. 165-second death timer. And you know where Fnatic will go. They need to take Roshan. They need to get this Aegis into Abed.
That was the only hero on J-Storm that couldn't die. The only one. And now you're going to be 4v5ing. You have to try and defend this. You won't have Black Hole. As you said, you have no Mirana for 2 minutes.
Echo Slam's got 18 seconds now on the counter.
Look at DJ.
Moo, a little bit further out. MP doesn't have another Reaper Science, but DJ, as you said, walking forward. I think the Observer and Sentry. Millen will pick him up and toss it back down again. That gets us done over to Necro. Not to mention the follow-up Avalanche. They just try and control him. Moo's put his own BKB, but they want DJ dead. He's now down for 110 seconds. Ice was ready to jump in and force it all over again, but he BKB'd and then blinked away. Could not find the target he wanted. And now, as Terrorblade takes the life of Ogre, they go in towards Roshan. Ogre will say hello, gets a multicast done over on the Necro, 4 times cast on him. The Bloomer Cape to try and get him out of dodge, plus the 4-star out. Moo is doing Roshan, still 2 heroes there from either side. Ice wants to come over, but the BKB being on cooldown, he's so timid about it. He doesn't want to go for the jump black hole just yet. Necro's nearby, now you jump in, you'll set the rub, the black hole, he'll catch out Moo, but then in through the back lines, Millen, he'll end up cancelling it as well as the CM multi. It's a Telekinesis that did the work. Buyback out from the Terrorblade. Roshan still low at 1.8k. They need more time, they need more life. Fnatic needs more people, more abilities, and they got none of it. They have to let Roshan go.
I don't understand. They're so timid. Why are they so timid? You know you have Black Hole. The enemy side does not. Necrophos.
Oh, and they're going to do double black hole. They gave the refresher shot to the Rubik. So he'll have a double black hole in the next engagement.
And he re-stole that from Ice, so he's going to have that for the full duration of the steal. You know there's no buyback on Tiny. You know there's no buyback on Necro if you kept the timer.
I still can't believe it was his telekinesis that cancelled both black hole as well as freezing field, the 2 major abilities Fnatic needs for the team fight.
And they have Aegis on move, so that buyback didn't matter. And you know, Abed's got nothing left.
He's trying to push the bottom lane out. He's sending his Meepos down there, but they just rip apart the mid. You know it's a great game when you're not even going to give a refresher shot over towards the Terrorblade. No double metamorphosis. They just go through the mid ranks. They look towards the tier 4 towers as well. There's no buyback on the Necro. Black Hole's down for another 64 seconds on the Enigma.
He's trying to save. He's going to have to refresh. He will not have time.
They're smoking up. Abed, how hard do you push the bottom? Your Dire Ancient is already being completely pounded. Ice blinks in with a BKB. He is just baiting it out. Fallen! He hit him! Ice wanted the hole, but he gets it, but it's just the wrong way inserted. Fnatic, they're losing everybody, and this will be the Dire Ancient going down. Meepo is trying to do the best he possibly can back in the race, but it is all for naught. J-Storm take game 1. The curse is alive. Thanks.